Hi everyone, you are welcome to BRAINCOURSES. In this video, I will be teaching you all you need to know about programming before we start the coding part. But in this video, you don't need to have any programming skills at all. You just need a computer, maybe a laptop or a desktop. So in this video, I'll be starting from beginning and make it easy for you. If you are new to the channel, please just hit the subscribe button and like this video. Okay, let's dive into it. First, we're going to be talking about what a computer programming language is. What is a computer programming language? A computer programming language are used to communicate instructions to computers in order to perform specific tasks. In other words, a computer language is just a set of written instructions by a programmer to deliver instructions to the computer to perform and accomplish a specific task. Okay, so we have examples of programming languages. What are the examples of programming languages we have? We have a lot of examples of programming language, and there are many programming languages with its own strengths and weakness. Each and every programming language has its own purpose and what each of them can do. So some of the most popular programming languages are Java, C++, Python, Basic, Ruby, Bash, Perl, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so now let's dive into the major types of programming languages. So the major type of programming languages we have, number one, we have the procedural programming language. We are going to talk about them each after naming them. So the second one we have the functional programming languages. The third one we have the object-oriented programming languages, and the fourth one we have the scripting languages. Those are just the major types of programming languages we have. We have lots more, but in this video I'm going to be talking about these four. The procedural, the functional, object-oriented, and scripting. Okay, let's dive into the procedural programming language. In the procedural programming language, is the use a stepwise procedure to develop a program. And examples of the procedural programming language are just C++, Java, Pascal, Basic. Then the other, don't worry if you don't get this. When we go deep into programming, you'll understand all these things. So this is just like I'm just trying to brief it for you guys, so it won't be new to you when we start programming. But when we get into the programming section, it will get easier for you because we'll be dealing with codes then. So the next one we have here is the functional programming languages. The functional programming language focus on deliberations and expressions rather than the execution of statements. So and examples of functional programming language you have are the Scala, Erlang, Ask. Those ones you don't really get it, so we're gonna go deep into that later. The third one we have is the object-oriented languages. The object-oriented language is a style of programming characterized by the identification of classes of objects closely linked with the method, which is the function, which by they are associated. And examples of the object-oriented programming languages are Java, Ruby, Python, C++, and PHP, and many more. So now let's get into the third one, which is the fourth one, which is the scripting language. So a scripting language is a programming language that employs a big level construct to interpret and execute one command at a time. Examples of scripting languages that we have are simply PHP, Ruby, Python, Bash, Perl, Node.js, C#, and more. So now let's dive into the syntax in programming languages. Now, what are the syntax in programming languages? Each programming language has its own syntax, which is the set of rules that govern how programs in that language are written. Learning the syntax of programming language is the first step towards becoming proficient in it, and which means it is a syntax in programming language means the rules that controls the structure. It controls the structure of the symbols, punctuations, and words of the programming languages. Okay, we'll talk about that. You get used to that when we get into programming. I told you this is a friendly course. I'll be teaching you all you need to know about it. If you don't get something, just calm down, or you can just ask in the comment section then, or you can DM me. I'll tell you what you need to know about it. But this is just a friendly course. So this is just to brief you all you need to know before we get into the programming section. Now let's move into the compilation and interpretation of programming languages. Now, programming languages can be compiled or interpreted. Compiled languages are translated into machine code before they are executed, while interpreted languages are executed directly without the need of completion. Okay, now I want to tell you, I want to group them, the completion and interpretation. I want to tell you what you need to know about completion and what you need to know about interpretation. Okay, so the compiled language is the target of machine that directly translate the program, while in an interpreted language the code is not directly translated by the target machine. Examples of the compiled languages are C, C++, and C#. And examples of the interpreted languages are JavaScript, Python, Basic, and Perl. Okay, let's go into the next section, which is web development. Now, what is web development? The web development is the process of building websites and web applications for the internet or for a private network known as intranet. Programming languages are also used in web development to create websites and web applications. Some of the most popular web development languages are C, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the web development is divided into 3 parts. Now let's go into that. The first one we have there is the front-end development. What's the front-end development? Process of building components that interact with the users. That's the user interface of the website or web app you are trying to create. So what is the back-end development? Back-end development means working on the server-side software, which focuses on everything you can't see on the website. The back-end it focuses on what you can see on the website, the back-end of the website. That's what the back-end is talking about. And now, what is the full-stack development? The full-stack development is simply the end-to-end development of applications. So that's what you need to know about front-end, back-end, and full-stack. I'll be talking about them more when we get into the programming aspect. This is just a brief explanation of what you need to know about them. So now let's dive into the next thing, which is mobile app development. Mobile app development is the act of building mobile applications for the mobile devices, for Android, iOS, and other operating systems that are run on the mobile devices. Examples of language that run the mobile development are Java, Swift, and Kotlin. Examples of mobile apps that runs on mobile development are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, with many more like that. Okay, so now let's dive into framework and libraries. There are many framework and libraries available for different programming languages. These two provide pre-written code and functionality that can be used to speed up the development. Okay, now I want to group them into two. I want to tell you what frameworks is all about and what library is all about. Library are a collection of helper modules, objects, classes, functions, and pre-written codes, while the framework is like the foundation upon which developers build application for a specific program. Okay, let's go into the next thing, debugging. What's debugging? From the word debug, errors. Bugs are errors. There are errors in our written codes. So the term debugging means finding errors and making corrections to them. Why in the programming aspect? You get to know more about that when we go into the programming aspect. Okay, so that's what you need to know about debugging for now before we get into the programming section. Yeah, so that's all what I have to say about this video. So thanks for watching. You can subscribe to this channel, like and share. Then if you have any question, you can ask on this Gmail and this WhatsApp. You can contact us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This is my YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and many more. Thanks for watching. Okay.